Hello everyone, welcome to Katharine's Creatures. This is a series where I'm going to talk a little bit about and touch base upon various mythological beast beings and the like pulled from lore worldwide. And I always like to preface by saying that I am not a linguist, so if I mispronounce anything, I do apologize in advance. And today, per request, I'm going to be talking about the Peryton. And the Peryton is essentially a fictional hybrid animal. It is described to be a cross between a stag and a deer, but it is not a true mythological or legendary animal. It was actually invented by a man called Jorge Luis Borges in his 1957 book, The Book of Imaginary Beings. And in this book, he used the fictional device of claiming that it was supposedly a long-lost medieval manuscript that was finally being revealed and talking about the various mythological creatures, many of whom were invented by the author, the Peryton being one of them. But the idea of this kind of stag-bird hybrid may have some historical roots, and can't prove this, neither here nor there, but there have been depictions of winged stags or very similar creatures in French heraldry, particularly that for King Charles IV and then the Dukes of Bourbon in their battle standards. So there have been images of very similar creatures before and as a heraldic beast. But beyond that, again, it is described as having the four quarters, neck, head, horns, hooves of a stag, but the rear legs and the rear quarter of some kind of bird, and along with the bird's wings. Now, there are alternative descriptions, and sometimes those descriptions say it pretty much is a winged stag. That's pretty much what it looks like. So depending on if it's true 50-50 split or something that's just a winged stag, that's more or less what the Peryton is supposed to look like. And in the particular book that where it was invented, claims various stories pertaining to this creature. Some of them, these fictionalized stories, say that the Peryton was an animal that lived on Atlantis. Yes, we're talking about the city that disappeared by sinking into the sea. And in this story, it was said that because of the earthquake that caused Atlantis to, again, go under the water, the earthquake at the time also scared off the Perytons, where they survived the fall of Atlantis by flying away and off that island. Other stories are associated with Peryton is the fact that they actually are born with a shadow that is shaped like a person. And they continue to have that unusual human-shaped shadow until the Peryton is able to kill its first human. And then after that, the shadow takes on its actual form, that winged stag look to it. The third little note about Perytons, there were rumors that in these stories, they had some kind of prophetic ability, and it was a Peryton that claims the book that predicted the downfall of Rome. Now again, I will reiterate, this is not a mythological or legendary animal. This was a fictional animal invented by an author in 1957. But still such an unusual look that similar creatures have cropped up in various media and books and stories and legends and have been used and reused since the original invention in 1957. Now, if you have any questions about this or anything else, please post them in the comments below or reach out to me on any of my other social media. And until next time, Skål.